investigation going?
We're Lyney and Lynette's attorneys.
Ah, I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
I disagree. On the contrary, I feel like this is somehow our fault. Because we started off this Archon quest saying, you know, wherever we go, something bad happens. Something dramatic happens. Like a normal, regular day, something just happens that ruins everything when we show up anywhere. And if anything, based on that track record, it might even be our fault that something happened here, in which case it's our duty to clear Lyney's name, if it's actually our fault. So...
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see.
Okay.
The deceased is one of Lyney's assistants named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troop long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him.
Okay, good thing
The
this guy
assistants are
interviewed
usually in
anybody.
charge of
Oh my
setting
gosh,
up
they
and
have the
inspecting
chalk on the
props,
ground.
as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged.
We have so few instances of seeing characters die in this game. First, it was like that Grand Thief back in the We Will Be Reunited quest. Now this. Oh, and Albedo stabbing the other Albedo. I guess he didn't die. He did die. That was the flower Albedo. Okay, anyway. Yeah, murders happen in this game.
As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it.
From an engineering standpoint, I get that they had to lower the box down for the first trick with Lynette. I guess you need an intermission to take it off of the pulley and move it out of the way. So I guess putting it back up would have been just easier. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, to take it down, but it wasn't supposed to be a safety hazard. Yeah, so I get it, fine. Why was Cal inside? Wasn't the girl supposed to be in there?
This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl.
Okay.
However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap.
Okay.
All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere
Right,
accident.
but that doesn't mean that Lyney
If
did
anything,
it.
the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Lyney is the most likely person to have access to all
I
these
understand
areas.
that, but
But he doesn't have a motive.
he doesn't have a motive, and there's a lot of other suspects, you know.
Are you both good friends of his?
Yes.
Well,
We're
you
good
can't say
friends. We're good friends,
but
please.
We've known
He
each
has
other for
stolen my heart
a while.
and saved me from getting
So in
arrested,
just
so
a
what
short
else am I
time,
supposed
he was not
to...
only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys.
Alright, fair
I
point.
know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick
Fair
of a
point.
magician is
I
holding the
know
audience
full
in the palm
well.
of their hand.
This could be the extent of
I've
his
seen a
trickery.
lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence.
Not always true. People can also be the most reliable evidence. Yeah, and that duality about humanity makes this really hard, doesn't it?
Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good.
Okay.
Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
Well, I do like this groovy music we get to investigate to. You can use the case record to confirm your current evidence and clue collection situation and sort case-related information. You can check as yet undiscovered evidence. Oh no, this is a whole new mechanic. And clues in the case. I mean, it's really cool. But it seems like we are going to be very busy tonight. Use the perception skill to find evidence and clues that can be investigated within a certain radius around yourself. This will advance your overall progress. The investigation from the guards indicates that the fireworks launched at the tail end of the magic performance set the rope dangling the water tank alight, causing the tank to fall and kill Cal, who was within it. It seems evident that Lyney is the likeliest user of the prop to commit a crime. However, the reason for the victim being Cal and the reason for the chosen lady's disappearance remains mysteries. I will definitely agree the biggest thing that is evidence that Lyney is innocent is that there is absolutely no motive here for him to do this. Unless there is. But I don't think there is. The deceased identity. The deceased is one of Lyney's assistants named Kao. He was well trusted by all his colleagues. His job was setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. You know what else is also a problem? All the assistants were masked. So, like, I'm pretty sure Kao was the one standing next to the box the whole time. With Lyney, he's chatting with Lyney the whole time. But it was, I think, because he had the name tag, right? Except we didn't see his face. And sure, they're just like all like NPC faces, sure. But listen, he's wearing a mask. It could have been any person. And then the real Kao could have been inside the box. I don't know. I mean, Lyney's trade secrets are going to be lost, but he was in that box. Then he appeared in the other box, and then that box got crushed. If anything, Lyney's trick could have failed, which I don't think he would have ever let happen because he's a master of his craft. But if his trick failed, then Lyney would be the one dead. It doesn't make sense he'd risk his life like that. Okay. Lies cast shadows under gathered lights. I'm getting really into this. But I hope, first of all, I hope we can prove Lyney innocent, and I hope that he actually is innocent. Because I think it would be really evil of him to trick us now. Us, of all people. His new best friends. Like I said, just... Okay. Not right now. I have not even pulled a Lynette. That's so funny. Good thing they gave us the free one. Where are you? You only see two? Alright, well, now you have more. Okay. Examine white line. It's the chalk lines. This is where the magic box was struck. If Cowell weren't inside the box at that moment, he might have dodged the falling water tank. But the question is, why was he in there and not the other woman? Okay, so he has a check mark. This means we already talked with him, right?
Go ahead, have a look around.
Okay. So it's already given us some evidence. Alright, let's see. You, what do you have to say? Nothing. Okay.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
That's not a good... That's not good evidence. That's not good evidence to convince people that Lyney's innocent. Okay.
See? I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Yeah, what if it was... What if it pulled the number and it was our seat? Us, the traveler. We would be dead or off floating in the abyss somewhere right now.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Lyney and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
It sounds like there was something wrong with it.
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall
Excuse
order.
me, we're the attorneys here, so...
Lyney used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared.
Okay.
Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time.
Okay.
I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless
Yeah,
of
this
whether
is
it's
not-
a trial or
This is
something
not
else.
evidence that's going to be easy to
In other
spin
words,
in Lyney's
Lyney
favor.
knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Lyney reserved our seats for us, too.
Yeah, that's just not good.
Let's just see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Lyney.
Okay, but that's only one piece of evidence. And thank you very much.
Even though it's bad for Lyney's case, Paimon had better
Of course you write it down. You gotta know what your enemies are thinking too, you know? I guess they're not even enemies. This is just like a trial of like... I don't even know what we're doing right now. Random number selector. This device was used during Lyney's magic performance to choose a lucky member of the audience. However, the guards have found that it will generate the exact same number no matter what. Clearly, someone has tampered with it. Okay. And the person most likely to have tampered with it is Lyney, of course. And they have a check mark over their heads. The damaged magic box. The broken magic box was left on the scene after the guards completed their investigation. Looking at it now, the water tank must have struck it really hard. I know, this thing's shattered. Now, question. Why is the chalk line so far away from the box? I know that probably has nothing to do with the investigation. But, oh, okay. It's going out into the audience, I see. I know everyone must be shocked right now. Okay, the other box. It looks like an ordinary box, but Lyney somehow moved instantly from the stage to being inside it. How did he do it? And he said, and I know that people are the best evidence, but he said he didn't expect Cowl to be in the other box. So it's not like he was already in this box, and then Cowl was just like voice replicating him in there. Plus, we saw Cowl standing outside the other box too, assuming that was the real Cowl, of which I am doubtful at the moment. Now, what is some of these markings? Is like I don't even know where it is supposed to be. Clues. Why are we at 0 out of 3? Wasn't the random number generator important? Is there no backstage? Where's Lyney and Lynette? I guess they're gonna be the last ones to give their testimony. Okay, I'm getting confused though. Where are these yellow dots supposed to be at? They all just seem like infinitely far away. Okay, there's Lyney and Lynette.
Lyney's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright.
Alright. As long as you got it under control. Where is this light? Okay, so that's another. No. I'm getting more and more confused. What? Okay. Hello.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too.
And who are you?
If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me.
Who are you,
right?
the prosecutor?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Is he the prosecutor, actually?
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud
Yes, the
thud.
thud that we all ignored.
Oh, you mean the
Even though
sound
I
that
knew
happened
it
during
was
the countdown?
something ominous.
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lyney's
Yeah,
trick.
we all
with bated
thought
breath.
that, like, oh, maybe that's
So
part
no
of the
one
trick.
paid it much mind.
But I thought, like,
Now
that would
that
be
the
so
incident has
sloppy of
happened,
him if he
the
let,
thud
like,
has become an important clue.
let that clue slide.
That makes sense.
If it was
So,
like
what
props
do you
moving
make of
around,
it?
then that would mean he's not doing a good job
I'm
hiding
of the
it, right?
opinion that it may have been the sound of Lyney's accomplice, Lynette, perhaps, jumping atop the water tank or something like that.
But the water tank was
And when
burned
the
to
pyrotechnics
fall.
went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Yeah.
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough
Then
landing.
wouldn't the water tank have started to swing a bit in that case? Yeah, and then the likelihood of it landing exactly where it did would be way decreased from that.
Oh, that's true. I suppose
Not to mention, the rope
I
had
must
burn marks on it,
reconsider.
right? So,
That does remind Paimon.
why not
though.
just go with the simpler
What was
theory
with
that
that
Lynette
sound?
just burned the rope? But I don't think she would. Because This is like a believe what you see with your own eyes. Only that is real. The rest is an illusion, is what Nicole said. And Lyney said, people believe what they see with their own eyes, but that's not real. It's just an illusion. Who do I believe right now? Even Lyney's told us not to not trust what we see. If Lyney told us not, I guess he didn't say that to us. He said that like in the trailer, not directed at us. But if he's saying, you know, it's not what you're seeing is not real. It's an illusion. Are we real? Are we even sitting here in this opera house at all? Strange sound during the magic show. During the switching performance, there was an audible thump that many audience members heard. Okay, why was the number generator not counted as one? Interesting. This person is supposed to be this way. Like out the door? Is that what you mean? Oh, right, I forgot you can go over here.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while.
Navia!
Huh? You mean us?
And her Secret Service agents.
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
No, you're not.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Yeah, who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di
No,
Rosula?
we're not from Fontaine.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
Well, nice to meet you, Navia.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
Okay, boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my...
I like these two.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the name?
Well, she's a very important person.
Well, I am the second generation president. Melus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No, no need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia
Okay.
is fine.
Hello, Navia.
Okay, if you say so.
Cool.
Not that
We're
remembering
investigating right now.
Spina
Can
di
you help
Rosula
us with
anyway.
that?
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation
You
at
want to
hand.
investigate as well?
That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's
Okay.
time. Judging from the look of things, I find Lyney an unlikely
Well, he is a mastermind, but he wouldn't.
Really?
He wouldn't
We
use
think
it
so
for
too.
this.
That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Right. Like Farina's unparalleled intuition.
Farina
Yeah,
should
exactly.
point the finger at Lyney without any decisive evidence whatsoever.
And
Wasn't
you
she
are
right?
better? Well, actually, I haven't heard what she has to say.
That's
Enlighten
not
us.
uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
Agreed. Agreed. The way that people will just agree with whatever she says, to the point that she can't even take it back if she wanted to. Not good. When you put it like that.
All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer
She
mine.
has sparkles in her eyes. Wait, she has sparkles in her eyes.
Did that answer count?
Wait, like the Connery has sparkles?
Well,
It's probably
I
a
say it
coincidence
does.
because it's not her pupils,
Don't
it's just
worry.
on the edge.
You
But
won't
still,
hear any pointless questions from me.
I think it's just a coincidence.
In your
But
opinion,
is it?
do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's
No, of course not. No. How about no? Never. I guess we have like TV shows where it's like courtroom, like courtroom TV shows and stuff like that, right? Where they actually show like real cases. But those are usually like small civil cases. And all the participants had to like consent to do that. So having that be like a requirement that your trial is like a televised, like celebrated thing, and doing it for criminal cases is no. 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 No.
And why would that be?
Something serious like a trial shouldn't be treated like entertainment. Doing so makes it easy for truth to fall by the wayside. Exactly. You get more focused on what you want the story to be and not what the story actually is.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like
If all the trials have to be entertainment, there's some sort of like pressure to,
following which our
you
joint
know,
investigation shall commence. You two
exaggerate the
be my
details
assistants.
and make up stuff.
Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, Paimon, when have we not been the assistants?
Well, I can be the assistant, sure, or your companion if you
How
like.
about friend? Let's
I'm
be
really
friends.
Not that fussy.
That's more like it.
I think you're missing the point, Paimon.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering
Yeah,
the
something
truth.
tells me the same.
You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got
All the sunglasses.
I have nothing to add.
Okay.
Oh, alrighty then.
I assume everything's already been said.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lyney's tricks.
Why don't you be the attorney? I think you are way more prepared to be the attorney than us. And also, that didn't count as one of the three?
Speaking of that, I think magic shows would be very popular in Poisson.
Would they now? Then Lyney and
I
Lynette
can
should go
see
on
that.
tour once we clear their names.
Maybe I should try to learn some magic. If I could make things disappear, cleaning my room would be a cinch.
You need not worry about such things, demoiselle. That falls under my duties.
Oh, right.
Okay. Okay. I'm not seeing if this is particularly helpful. Melusine!
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we just have questions.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Lyney and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case.
We have one day,
guarding this
not
entrance.
not excluding time to sleep and
After the
eat.
Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on.
What about during the show?
I doubt there was much opportunity then,
And yet
either.
she's gone.
How can you be so sure,
Yeah, how can you be so sure?
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that
He
time.
says they left through
I
the
couldn't see
entrance.
Lyney's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So,
So, It's safe to say the girl.
Is there a
couldn't
window
have
though
lost you
somewhere? Or just this is what I mean by like.
Alright, thank you for your help. This will be useful info.
Does Lyney use real, quote unquote, real magic or like prop magic? Because and this answer is important. Did he teleport her out of there? Willingly or not? Does teleportation canonically exist, or is this only something the Traveler could do? No one left the Opera House during the magic show, and after the incident happened, only those who had their identities cleared by the guards could leave. I love investigative Paimon. Hang on, if I do this. Oh, she's wearing it! Oh, that's so cute. I'm gonna cruise, use a Numa attack to weaken the Whirlwind Copelia creates during the performance attack. Investigate the truth of the incident as Lyney's quote-unquote attorney. That's right, us, the quote-unquote attorney. We are 100% not qualified to be doing what we're doing, but I will nevertheless never disappoint my friend Lyney. And I'm gonna be really sad if he actually is tricking us somehow. But I don't think he is, mostly because, I mean, when Charlotte brought up the case, he said, he could only imagine what would happen if something like that happened to Lynette, and he would do anything to save her, right? I think he would definitely not be the type of person who would make somebody else go through that. Unless something has happened to Lynette. or there's some sort of threat. That would be the only reason Lyney does this, is if somehow this risk would be worth saving. Worth it to save somebody. Alright, the burned rope.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water
It's burned,
to fall.
so the whole thing about
The rope looks pretty
it
durable.
being cut.
How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
So either Lyney didn't realize this was a safety concern, or shouldn't there be a safety department too that checks all this stuff too?
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
I'm just looking at where the rope snapped. And keep in mind, Lyney did not have his vision at this time.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material.
Oh.
Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it
It
left.
seems to be flammable, like a type of flash cotton.
Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it,
It was purposely
that means...
planted.
Wait, why don't you write all this down?
What does it
Let's
mean?
take notes.
But I agree. This rope has also been rigged the same way the number generator was. This rope was used to suspend the water tank. It suddenly broke when the fireworks were being launched on stage. The investigation has shown that the location of where the rope snapped was made of flammable material. And also, if you make an object out of inconsistent material, like you have it instead of a full brick, you have it brick and a whole bunch of other materials glued together, it's not gonna be as strong. Only when you make something of consistent material. I mean, the whole thing about a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, even if it hadn't been burned. Just the mere act of switching out a material in the middle of the rope is a big flaw. So, that's also worth noting. And that was not the thing? Alright, you. What do you have to say? That's so important.
What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troupe members are currently considered prime suspects.
Okay.
The investigation team is still collecting evidence.
Okay.
The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Could you tell us who she is?
Sure. It's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person.
Just tell us.
Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself.
Okay.
Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic
How
show.
are you getting this information
Magic
this
Troupe
fast? We've
members
had
all
less than a
claim not
day
to
to
know her.
investigate,
We
and you don't have the
looked into a social
internet.
connection. It seems that she has
You
no
probably would
personal
have to have already
grievances or
interviewed her
conflicts of
friends and
interest with the
family and
suspects.
colleagues to know that.
Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troupe at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Okay.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
Well, they don't have a motive,
That's
then...
how it seems to us.
Yeah, they
in
don't
that
know.
case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
Thanks for letting us know all this.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us.
No worries.
It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
And yet these are seen to be cold cases over the last 20 years. That's actually really freaky, because stuff like that happens in real life, and it's like... Halsey is the missing person. She's a famous painter and came to watch the magic show in order to take a break from her own creative work. She isn't known to have been entangled in any quarrels with any members of Lyney's magic troupe. Okay.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue.
Alright. And we've picked up some extra things too. I hope that helps out.
Let's go see, shall we?
Of course.
Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh?
This thing's getting interesting. Somebody died, Paimon. Alright. But yes, the most important piece of testimony for
Understood.
us.
Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the
Yes.
pleasantries. I'm
Like-
just doing my job.
You're not in a position to be, you know, making those kinds
You've
of requests.
arrived. Who's this?
A new friend who has invited herself
Me?
along.
I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs. and
Partner,
we'll be
huh?
helping investigate
Okay,
this
let's
whole
let's do
situation.
this.
And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as
Like
well?
I said, she's probably more qualified to be an attorney than us, so...
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Okay. She has the Conrio stars, but they're not in her pupils, so...
Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for
Alright,
this switcheroo
explain.
trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here?
Am I supposed to?
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more
Before in
easily.
the box, there were all these things hanging from the top.
Huh.
Yes, exactly.
Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the
Oh,
answer.
the back of the door isn't the same. Yeah, well, how was I supposed to see that? The camera didn't pan around. But I did notice earlier that the camera panned around to the back of the box, and I thought he was going to escape through there, but he didn't. But sure, okay.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it?
Oh, you
I
mean the
didn't
back of the
notice
door,
anything.
okay. Not the back of the
Very
box
good
with another
indeed.
door.
I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Does that mean there's another box inside this one?
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Alright. Okay.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
And this passage linked the two boxes together.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this
Okay,
place.
then what am I missing?
The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel.
Okay. And someone let you set this up
See
in
this
the
flatbed trolley?
courthouse.
The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
Okay.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
You mean the person on the trolley?
I see. So that's...
Oh, no, they're in the
of
box, and then the
inside
box.
another
Okay.
box.
Precisely. The inner box
Box
would
1,
descend
box
after
2,
the audience
box
member
3.
was put inside and be moved along
Okay,
the
I'm
trolley.
getting it though.
All while the outer box would remain
So
on
you're saying the
stage
inner
as if
box with the
nothing had
person
ever
in it is
changed.
missing.
So that's how you did it!
I know. You've ruined his secrets.
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps.
Okay.
The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Then what about your side of the trick, where we heard you talking for the entire minute until the last second?
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Yeah.
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect.
Phonograph. That doesn't explain you coming out of the box early.
My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
Yeah.
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Mezzanine space in the...
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Lyney's lines with the assistant. And by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Except for your eyes.
And that's
I
my
should
favorite
watch it
part of
back.
this trick.
Could you tell from
Only
the eyes
Lynette
that
and
their
I
eyes
can
are
perform
different?
it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow! Every detail you revealed was more amazing than
Yeah,
the
even though we
last!
spoiled the surprise, I can sense Paimon likes this, because she likes reading the murder mystery novels. She likes to know how to solve the mystery, the puzzle of how everything works. I can tell a lot of thought was put into this.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending.
So there had to be a pathway
And then I
for
walked out
somebody
of the
to go
other
up
box in
and
the
someone to go
audience
down
area,
at the same
and
time.
the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience.
And why
member.
was Cal on the box?
She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
Wasn't Cal the assistant talking to him the whole
If
time?
not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off.
Yeah.
And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime.
Yeah.
Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more
Yeah,
leads.
let's do that.
This is the scene of the crime, so Lyney and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air.
Oh, don't joke around right now. You just remember.
Thanks, everyone.
She's
We're
recording
helping you.
everything you say. It's like the whole thing about the right to remain silent because anything you say can be used against you. I wouldn't be so nonchalant about all of this. The magic trick. Lyney gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using a box inside a box, the idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath, and Lyney himself would also use the tunnel to get to the other side. Meanwhile, having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of the on-stage interactions. So just kind of like those hydroidolums in Dea's 3-day reverie in the last update. She's basically just pushing buttons to talk. Interesting. I'm still confused as to, so in the last second, the inside box with the audience member shows up on the other side. Lynette also has to climb down at the same time. Is the tunnel big enough for both of those things to happen? And I'm still confused. Was Cowell not the assistant that was talking with Lynette the whole time? Or was that a different assistant? I gotta watch that back, because that's also a key clue as well. Because that's almost like an alibi Like, he couldn't have been in the box because he was outside the box. Unless it wasn't him, or it was somebody pretending to be him because of the whole masks thing. Anyway, I don't know. The magic box on stage has an additional layer to its rear in which Lynette and Lyney's clothes are hidden. She would appear at the end of the magic trick and lead people to believe that Lyney had been able to instantly move to the box on the other side. The magic box at the center of the audience stand has 2 layers, and beneath it is an entrance to an underground tunnel. This is how the lucky audience member was meant to have been transported without the audience noticing. And the key thing, also without the audience member noticing. They were supposed to believe they were stationary the whole time. Okay. 5 things here. Examine control board. This should be the control device for the trolley. It seems to operate automatically. Okay. Examine ladder. A ladder is required in order to return to the magic box above. Alright. What is this? Okay, this is all broken. This is all broken, but I also don't see any holes in which anybody could escape from here.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
No.
Speaking of which...
Why is it?
Why would there be water here?
Maybe it was for a trick.
Oh! Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear? And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish.
Yeah.
It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
It had to have been something else then, like a person.
Let's note this down too
No.
and think about it later.
You're throwing curveballs that are like tampering with my ability to process anything logical. There are many pieces of a broken flower vase on one side of the tunnel. All the water within has been spilled. Judging from the distance, it seems unlikely that it was knocked over by the trolley meant to transport the magic box. Interesting. Clothing.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right?
Okay.
Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Lyney didn't mention the guest having a wardrobe change. You know, what's also interesting is the trick before with Lynette in the box, and her clothing was there, but then she walked out back out wearing her normal clothing. And yes, in that case, where it's prepared with Lynette, you know. They could have had multiple outfits, but there's something about, you know, making people disappear and their clothing remains. There's something about that.
Right. And do you really need to do that?
Oh my gosh, wait, look at Paimon's eyes! That is me right now. My eyes are spinning, they're swirling. I am tired.
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
The young lady's clothes. The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. What is this?
Huh.
It's a hook, like a grappling hook.
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends.
Lyney didn't mention this earlier.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Somebody else left it.
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Okay. And it's on a... Yeah, the rope is broken too. A rope that has fallen to the ground. A metal hook is tied to one end of the rope. Its use is unclear. The other side of the rope looks burned too, but I'm not sure if that's supposed to mean it was on the other side of the rope from the water tank. The tracks, okay. High precision is required to complete this magic show, and the tracks are perfect for making the trolley stay on its designated course. Yeah, and it'd have to be perfect. Which I would say these boxes here are located too close to not impede the trolley. Like, okay, like look. Sure, the trolley fits perfect on the tracks, but isn't there like parts of the wheel that would jut out a little bit? Alright, anyway. What is this? Storage boxes. All kinds of props and costumes are haphazardly stuffed inside. Okay. Trolley. The trolley is crucial for transporting the magic box to their side. The culprit must have used this to execute their plan. Okay, so I guess the opening is big enough to lower the box and have a ladder here at the same time. What is this? Oh, next to the trolley.
What is this place?
Looks like a vent. There is an escape route then.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Yeah.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
Other than those that go through the magic boxes, and Lyney and Lynette were in the 2 magic boxes.
Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Oh, this is getting confusing. The tunnel vent looks like it could allow one person passage, barely, but leaving along with the missing lady seems like an unrealistic prospect. Now, like I said, there was a thief earlier, but they might have just been like a similar NPC design. But I'm wondering if this person meant to get captured. Like this Halsey wanted to be captured. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna feel really bad about saying that. And I don't think that there's a lot of evidence for that case, so I'm not gonna go with it, but I'm just putting it out there. Alright, return to...
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Alright.
Yes. Let's head back up.
Let's do that. What is this right now? Right, okay. We can get Primo Gems by collecting stuff. Wait, is this because of all the flowers I collected outside? Yeah! Alright. What is this? Defeat Dura Difficult Pelia. Alright, we gotta do the other one again later then. Alright, I'm nervous. Like I said, Lyney's show made me so nervous because I felt like it was so normal.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene.
Well, it's Lyney. It's not normal, you know. He did everything like he could to make it as special and flamboyant and exciting as possible. I meant like nothing was going wrong, and this is a video game where things tend to go wrong, and in this sort of like cruel way, perhaps we are the ones that are the Farina of the story and taking enjoyment out of everyone else's drama of their lives. That being said...
Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. It seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
There's a lot that doesn't add up. Okay.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
Alright, what's up?
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement.
Okay.
The guards have checked the area carefully.
So can we go to the basement?
Through the basement during the performance or after
Okay,
the
here's the thing. If you guys weren't in the
was
basement, you
found
can't say
hiding
for
there.
certain nobody was
So
there.
the tunnel's become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
It would seem so.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Lyney and Lynette.
Except why
In
would
other
they
words, the
do this?
charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
We have enough evidence. We just need to put it together.
And then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
We're trying to figure out how the Oratrice operates. Why does it have a consciousness, and how can it make sentences accurately? But when you're sentencing someone, that's not something objective. So how can you say something is accurate when it's a subjective answer as to what it should be?
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides,
You know.
the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice.
The confidence with when she says this is how the energy is produced almost 100% makes me believe that this is framed because a case like this is going to produce so much energy to power all of their stuff.
To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own...
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Okay. Fascinating.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
I guarantee you
So that machine is the one that actually decides?
the Oratrice has a connection to the Hydronosis.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice.
No, I think it's the other way around. The fact that the machine comes up with the same verdict as the Chief Justice is why you trust the machine.
Ah, yes. The guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to
Is
leave
nobody
this
gonna clean
place
up the murder
before the
scene
trial.
before we hold a court or the trial in the same courtroom that the murder
Because we've
happened
chosen
in?
to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
Okay.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the
Yeah,
case.
it's just like when they like confine the jury
ready
to
to
make
break out
them
at
do
any
their
time.
deliberations. Right.
Whoa, there's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Yeah, are we sleeping on the floor here? And we have 24 hours. I assume we still need our 8 hours of sleep,
I
right?
just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid
We could escape to the
catering to our
teapot. I guess that'd be
tastes is not
cheating.
in the cards,
And
nor
then we
is
would be the ones being
any
arrested
guarantee
next.
of balanced nutrition.
Now's not the time to be picky.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too.
Oh, we can try that
I mean,
afterwards.
what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Yeah.
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Oh, Paimon. I know, food. The prospect of good food. I cannot wait to try out Fontaine food.
Just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there
There'll
are
be
no
lots of snacks regardless, but let's try to get a win here.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Is there a kitchen here?
But how?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Okay. Is there actually a kitchen here? I guess it's a big place. They could have a kitchen in it.
Wait, you're carrying a portable
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yes.
Interesting.
I
We can
must be
still click the book up here and look at our evidence. And we are still missing some things. We are missing. Okay, we're missing 2 things with the tunnel. We're missing 2 things with the opera house. Okay, I want to get completion for this because that's going to be important.
To meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy
But yeah,
strikes.
interesting. The book still
I have
appears
eggs,
even in
sugar,
this
and
dialogue.
almonds at the ready.
Almost like there's dialogue here that we might need to cross-reference.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
Yay!
These 3 are quite the interesting group.
Must be a Spina di Rosella thing. Mechanically handles the ingredients. Macarons!
Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop dreaming.
I love macarons!
From the way you had these 2 guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process.
Look, they even like have the Fontaine logo like pressed on it.
The entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
Well, you got the right
I was
tools.
applauding.
Moral
And
support.
I was giving encouraging smiles.
Perfect. That is exactly the kind of support one needs.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating
Oh,
egg
Paimon.
whites and baking like this?
She's perfectly capable. Thank you very
Well,
much.
I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano.
Yeah, exactly.
I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will
No,
crack.
it's actually pretty tough to make macarons.
these a
There's-
try.
Everything has to be done
Fresh out
so
of the oven.
perfectly.
There's 3 for each of us.
3!
Only 3?
Paimon, this stuff is expensive.
Well,
3 is good.
Too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite. Strong black tea with a floral fragrance that
love
clears
tea.
the mind and
Flowery
lifts the
tea. I
spirit.
love flowery tea. Thank you very much.
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
Oh, thank you. You should join us. I hope Resistance joined us.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber.
Okay.
However, we can assume that Lyney and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The
Okay.
magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Yeah.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
So apart from the twins, we're left with 2 other people, the missing girl and the deceased. And any other characters in this scheme that we don't know about yet, but at this point it's seeming unlikely. Okay.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction.
Okay.
Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
There's no evidence that this third person even exists. I mean, that's exactly what I mean. It's like, what if Halsey is the culprit? And she's basically framing Lyney, and she wanted to be, quote-unquote, captured. But like I said, if that's wrong, I'm gonna feel really bad.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But
Yeah.
the only people left to consider are both technically victims. Whether it's the
Yeah.
missing girl,
That's what I mean. It's actually a little bit awful when you put it that way.
Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her escape?
But she had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the magic troop's members.
Yeah.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From
But
the sound of things, this is turning
who
into
knows
an
if she's
case.
being influenced by something. And that's what I mean, like,
Your macarons
motive
are amazing,
will have,
Navia.
anybody can have a
They're so
motive if
great.
sufficiently
They're
pressured
nice,
enough to do
crisp, and
something.
super sweet.
Yeah, I love macarons. I hope the macarons are not also going to distract us.
They are my
Oh no,
specialty, after
Navia,
all.
you're also winning
And
my
I
heart
see
over.
you
Good thing we were
already
both
had
supporting
5 of
Lyney, because
them.
if you were on the other side, you know,
What?
that would not be good.
Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3. Honest.
Okay, I hope that's not a clue.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
Okay, I hope that's not a...
No.
I hope...
Being greedy is one thing. but
Yeah, I
Paimon
hope
knows
that's
how to
not
count.
a disappearing
Paimon
stuff.
knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
It's fine. If you ate them, you ate them. Everyone knows how much you love eating. No, but that's an important point. The whole problem here is people disappearing. Things disappearing. Tricks to make things disappear. There's no evident trick here, and yet, key point, something disappeared.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon?
No, well, but Paimon, the thing is, I say that, it's also very likely you just ate them.
Macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
Oh, don't wish that upon yourself.
Alright, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Malus, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
You making
Making
more?
sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Oh, but then you should just, at that point, just make a whole other batch. If you just make 2 macarons, you go through all the work. You don't have to do that, it's okay.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
That's suspicious.
And I have the egg
I
sugar
think the
and
2
almonds.
macarons actually disappeared.
Well,
Second map baking over the 2 missing Macarons. Discussion that follows does not yield
that's
much
it for
fun.
snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area.
Alright, me
I
too.
don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the two of you think the case over again.
Oh no.
It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
It's gonna be like the whole decision-making thing from the Sub-Zero's festival. Yeah, I picked wrong. It's gonna be bad.
It was nothing.
But at the same time, Aether will stop me from picking wrong.
Silver, Maloose, it's time to go.
I love how her hair is done. Probability of third person being involved. Neither Cal nor Halsey had a motive, but after having talked to Navia, the likelihood of a third person being involved seems very low too. So then nothing adds up. It's gonna be like the thought bubbles thing, and...
Alright, it's time to put our heads together. We've gotta get our defense ready for the trial.
Are all the people still here?
It's probably gonna be a long and
Uh-oh.
difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare.
I know, this is real.
They should help you review the situation.
Thank you, Paimon. Paimon is the best companion. Paimon took all the notes for us so we could go around just doing the walking around and talking. Now, are all the people still here? Oh, but our tracker is gone. Oh, Child's vision. It appears as if Child lost control of the elemental power within it before. The vision has lost its glow now that its owner has been left behind. It's a 5-star quest item. We're gonna hold on to that because it's the most precious thing that we own. Okay.
Whoever the murderer was, they must have made preparations well beforehand.
That's
Why
right.
would it be him? How strange.
I love the little icon of Paimon. Alright, we need to find 1 more of these, and we need to find 2 more of these in the tunnel. But now it's not showing me, it's not showing me what I'm missing. Is there anyone that I haven't talked to yet? Okay, hang on. Who have we not talked to? What have we not interacted with here? Okay, you guys cannot be interacted with. We've talked with you. They're probably not around here. I want to get all the evidence because I'm scared that, like... Well, but the thing is, this game is meant to be playable even if you didn't get all the evidence. So I assume that we have all the stuff we need. But I don't want to miss anything. Talked with the Melusine. We can't go past her, right? Oh, we can, but there's nothing to... Poodle! Alright, but there is nothing else for us to do here. Here. We can sit in the chair. We can enjoy ourselves and have a good time. That being said, I don't actually see any additional evidence. How else we can get up there? But no, that's where Farina sits, so we don't... Unless there is a way to get up there. I don't think there is. No, there's no way there's a way to get up there. Is there? No, the staircases just only go... Yeah, there's no way. Okay, well, I assume the quest marked evidence is the ones that we'll actually be needing. So everything else is probably just additional. Let's go into the tunnel and just see if we can find a couple other things. Let me see. Control board. Well, we already looked at that. Maybe we already looked at it. It's hard now. You can't. Nothing's being marked anymore. Okay, hang on. Some of the traps, we already did that. The Vent we already looked at before. Costumes. So whoever, if her clothing was just on the ground, she could have been changed into clothing from the costumes. Okay, I actually don't know what we could be missing, so I think we probably should just... We should probably just... not this. Go back. I think it's time we get this case started. Exciting. Not, I mean, it is exciting. Okay, there's a lot here. I just clicked on that by accident. Lyney is our hero. We gotta save him. That's all I gotta say, really. Lyney. Participate in the trial. Alright, we're ready. I'm still nervous, but we're ready.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing.
I do have some thoughts, but let's take things step by step.
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
That's right.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lyney and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
True, but I mean...
Thanks, Navia.
The problem is she's like... She's basically the influencer Archon.
Best of luck to you.
She's the influencer. She's popular and everyone loves her, but also her word means a lot. So whatever she says and does is gonna be problematic for us if it is not going good. Hi.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
Incredibly confusing.
You might be disappointed.
Yeah.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed.
I would consider this to be, influencing. I mean... The problem here is that the Archon is not unbiased. I would consider this, you know, tampering with evidence, threatening witnesses. These are not things that would normally be allowed in a trial, you know. Mocking us? That's not... You can't do... You literally can't. I mean, she's a god, so she will, but that's not how... That's not justice, is what I would say.
That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence.
Very biased.
But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
So I'm guessing Farina is the prosecution. Alright.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial
he's
regarding
sitting on
the
the
magic
chair.
show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Lyney explain the trick?
There's something so funny. We don't have a stand. We don't have a microphone. We don't have any place to put our papers. Are we just shouting at each other from two opposite sides of this massive opera house? Can we hear each other talking? Or are we just like, hello? And it just echoes off into like the distance. Because...
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Yes. Lyney clearly reveals the details of the magic trick. Everyone in the audience is stunned.
Thank you, Mr. Lyney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's
Thank
correct,
you.
Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to
He's so
refute his
annoyed.
statement
You see
in
the
any
Lady
way?
Farina.
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Lyney is clearly lying.
Okay.
There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell.
But you don't have any evidence, so your statement is not valid.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Exactly.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The thing is, Farina actually has enough evidence to prove him guilty, I think. Except for the fact that I don't think he's guilty, and I feel like she's gonna mess up somehow just because of her overconfidence.
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything?
Is this the cross-examination? Aren't we the attorney? I mean, it's probably the cross-examination, and then she can...
No, nothing.
Then she can question the
But when the count reached 30
accused.
seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Okay.
Huh?
Except you?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Wait, Lyney didn't hear it? How could Lyney not know about that sound? Everyone else heard the sound.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Uh-oh.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Yeah, Lyney, I'm pretty sure that means that her argument is more weighty than ours so far. So we better get counter-arguing fast.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can
The problem with Farina is she's just so arrogant about it.
It seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an
Like,
eye.
being the prosecutor is one thing. Being so insulting is actually driving me
More
crazy.
than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid.
No, you're the Hydro
Tell me,
Archon.
Aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
Okay, go on.
The House of the Hearth?
They're Fatui?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances...
And the problem is Farina says it, everyone would just harp on that one
sense.
detail.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Oh no.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute.
Why are... Oh, hang
Your
on.
first priority is to
Hang on,
prove
aren't we
yourself
the
innocent
attorney?
after
When are we
all.
gonna get a chance to
I'm
talk?
sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
Aether, do something.
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted?
She is so excited. I already despise her.
In Discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Well, at least she works for the entertainment that she gets.
Hey, Lyney, why didn't you tell us this before?
Yeah, you don't think that might have been important for us to come, and refute?
Order! Order! Mr. Lyney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points.
Did you think that would have been important
when
for
the
us
thud
to
was
be
heard
able
in the
to
Opera House,
swoop
you were
in and
neither
be
in
the
the box nor
savior?
the tunnel. Second,
That might have
you
been
and
an
Miss Lyney
argument that
are
we should have
both
been able to
members of the
counter.
House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about a magician's ability to con others. Given how Lyney has concealed his identity, this could have all been set up beforehand. Plus, Child is here in Fontaine along with other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. There's still... But I will say, one thing that we know that pretty much nobody else here knows. We've met other members of House of the Hearth trying so desperately to get out of being part of the House of the Hearth. Because basically they were like orphans, right? A lot of them were orphans, basically taken to the House of the Hearth and trained to later become conscripted into the Fatui, right? There's a lot of people we've met. I mean, mainly two, but like it seems that this is not a life that people willingly take on. Thus, but if Lyney did do it, even if he was forced to, that doesn't mean that he has any sort of innocence. He might just be less guilty. Man, this is hard. This is complicated. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now... Who do you believe?
Please answer my question, Mr.
Hang on. No.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Why are we questioning Lyney? Aren't we the attorney? Like, in most of these cases, like, you have the lawyer speak, and, you know, the accused talks when it's their turn to talk. But other than that, we're the ones doing the arguing. Why are we putting so much pressure on Lyney and Lynette? I mean, that's not... Because the trial is biased, yes. But other than that, like, this is clearly rigged to convict them. Anyway.
Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
He was so polite about it, too. Okay, hang on. We need to save this fast.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
Hold on. That's not fair. Yeah, permission to speak. You're gonna go through this whole trial and the other attorney doesn't even get a chance to get a word in? Thank you very much.
Granted.
Alright. My client has withheld some key information.
In that case, what is
I
your
request a brief adjournment. There are things that must be discussed.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
Be quiet!
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick
Shush!
to
Let me talk with him first.
After knowing what you do now, you certainly have more professionalism than
Yeah,
I
unlike
thought.
you.
In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of
Oh my
victory
gosh,
to
I
stay
actually...
for a little while longer.
I'm not sure. I said before, I'm sure that she's gonna grow on me a little bit more. I am not sure. I said, while the court is adjourned, you meet with Lyney and Lynette backstage at the Opera House. Okay, before you talk about anything. Now, do you guys have something you have to tell?
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up.
Oh, the theme. Okay. First of all, appreciating Navia, because clearly, Farina and all the audience members, this is just all some movie to them. Thank you to Navia for actually having control over the situation, keeping it, and sticking to, you know, order and the way a trial should go if it wasn't so completely rigged because the prosecution is a god. Now, I know that this is probably not something you want to talk about. That being said, you sure you didn't want to tell us about your past? Because you didn't think that Hydro Archon's gonna dig all that up. I mean, she seems to have eyes and ears everywhere. And yeah, what does Child have to do with this? I feel like he has something to do with this. Anyway, explain, please, before our time is up.
I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't.
Now hold on, Paimon. We still can't say that they're bad guys. I mean, Paimon, we've met other House of the Hearth people, and at least the Shrine Maiden, like, we grew to trust her eventually. Just let them talk first.
Not to set the wrong tone or anything.
I'd be pretty mad too, though. You basically.
I'm very sorry.
basically made it
I
so
know you're
our
angry,
entire
and
job has
reasonably
been
so, but
undermined.
Please,
So
let me explain.
Yes.
I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face.
Right.
I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends.
Right.
That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead.
I mean...
The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
Okay. I mean... Once again, I might just be falling for Lyney's pretty words, as I have been over the past 5 hours, but... I mean, we are good friends with Child, right? I mean, Child... Like I said, Child trusts us more than he should. Like, if I was Child, I would not be spilling my whole life story out to Aether. I feel like Aether is way more likely to betray Child than the other way around. Same applies here with Lyney and Lynette. So let's see. Let's see how it goes. How can we know this isn't all just another lie? I'm personally not angry that they're from the Fatui, but I am angry that as your attorney, you didn't think that that might be something you need to share with us in order to get you out of this sticky situation.
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point.
What happens when you've worn so many different faces?
You met a Fatui who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Okay.
Well, you both say that,
Explain the other issue first. Where did you actually go while the trick was being performed?
Right. Let's hear your answer first.
Or else we can't save you, literally. So, unless
I'll answer
your
any
whole plan
question
is
you
to get
ask.
thrown in jail, which I don't
We've been
see.
trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences
Okay, that's my
accurately?
question too.
During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Okay.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box.
He knows people so well.
So
It takes
after jumping into the tunnel,
more or less
I
time,
accessed the
not
upper house
actually 60
basement via the
seconds.
vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute
So
this
what did
step.
you find?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice.
Someone's voice?
Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was
This is
the
getting
only one in the
creepy.
room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and
Like
retreated
the voice
the way
that
I
we
came.
heard earlier?
On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought.
Okay.
After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
So you were doing other stuff. But...
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
But this is gonna be really hard to explain to people, you know? No one's gonna believe us. They're all gonna be like, yeah, the attorney is... Aether is clearly out of ideas. He's literally just making up stuff. Either that, or we're gonna get in a lot of trouble for investigating underground secrets. And even if nothing else, even if we somehow win this case, the big problem here is that Farina hates us now. All of us in this room here, so that's gonna make things a little bit difficult. Why do you want to understand how the Oratrice operates?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's
the
trapped
only
in
way
there.
we can save everyone.
Like how Nahida was trapped in the Sanctuary of Sarasthana. Although I wouldn't say that she wasn't powering the Akasha herself, but she was still harboring the dendronosis, right? And the Akasha was being powered by it. If you heard a voice, there might be somebody trapped down there.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time.
Okay.
It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either.
I know, I can tell.
But like I said earlier,
right.
You can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Is this the kind of choice where it's like... Well, I guess I believe in the facts. There's no choice here. Oh. I would defend you from these charges. I believe the judgment will be dispensed as it should. If I pick the second option, though, would Paimon be like, no, you can't do that? Even though she just said, oh my gosh, like, is this actually like a really important choice? It probably... The outcome will probably be the same. And Lyney would probably forgive us if we didn't. He has won me over so much. I should not be this, like... I mean, like... He really did trick us, though. So... I don't think he's lying, but do I want to defend him? And let me look at this from the perspective of not like cool guy magician, and instead objectively. The answer would be no, because even if I do believe him, there's no way we're winning this case now. Except for the fact that it's Aether, so of course we're gonna win the case.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
Just because it's Aether.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty
Yeah,
badly
I
against
know,
you
right?
two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
We already have the key evidence we need.
Huh?
What is that? The adjournment's almost over, let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's the last thing missing in the book that we couldn't find. Lyney's statement. Lyney claims he headed to the chamber containing the Oratrice core upon entering the tunnel and did not witness the crime taking place, and thus did not hear the thud. Okay, the voice... Okay, these are the ones that are missing. Lyney claims to have heard a mysterious voice within the chamber that houses the Oratrice core within the Opera House's underground structures. Keep in mind, we also heard a mysterious voice too. Alright. I don't know though. This is... Even if we have enough evidence. Okay, well once again, thank goodness it's Neuvillette and I guess the Oratrice presiding over the case. Because if it was up to Farina and, you know, public perception, I think that we are as good as lost here. But thankfully, it's not up to them. It's up to people who can actually make unbiased judgment.